Little more than a fortnight after hosting the Games of the 31st Olympiad, the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro is all set for the 15th edition of the Paralympics. The event features 23 sports for athletes with a range of disabilities. Since its inception in 1960, the Paralympics have helped to dispel the myths that surround disability.
Everybody's got hurdles, everybody's got difficulties. That's what drives me, just to try and push the boundaries of what the human body can take.
People think, they can't be as good as the Olympic athletes, but we try, and each of us have our own stories and how we ended up getting there. So I think it's pretty important.
This isn't about pity. It's not about any of that. It's about a group of athletes coming together and all trying to do their absolute best. And I would say if you ask most of them, they all want a gold medal.
Last month, Michael Phelps clinched another 5 Olympic titles to take his gold medal tally up to an unprecedented 23. Another Baltimore-raised US swimmer heads to the Paralympics as one of the stars. Her name is Jessica Long, and we first met up with her 9 years ago. Jessica was adopted from a Siberian orphanage at just 13 months old. She was born with fibula hemimelia and had to have her lower legs amputated. But Jessica has not let that hold her back. She's claimed 17 Paralympic medals, of which 12 have been gold. That's more titles than any other woman competing in Rio.
I don't really think of it as like I'm the best, I guess. I'm just like, oh, I love to swim, this is my sport kind of thing. Like, I don't want to lose my position in like my ranking. But when I swim, I just think, just keep it up, because I guess I'm doing well,
Another pioneering woman due to feature in Brazil is Sophie Christiansen, who has quadriplegic cerebral palsy. She was one of the leading ladies for Great Britain at their home Paralympics in 2012, where she won 3 equestrian gold medals on her aptly named horse, Rio. She has achieved success both in and out of the riding arena. Besides her 5 Paralympic titles, she has a master's degree in mathematics and currently works for global investment firm Goldman Sachs. Sophie's compatriot John Allen Butterworth became known as the nearly man of the London Games. The C5 paracyclist won 3 silver medals in the individual pursuit, team sprint and the kilo. In the team sprint, he missed gold by 0.065 seconds. And at the kilo, the margin was just 0.038. John Allen will be seeking gold in Rio, where he'll be one of a number of injured military servicemen and women competing. He almost lost his life while deployed at the Basra Air Base in Iraq.
I remember everything that happened that day. I was fully conscious throughout everything. 3 rockets came in quite close. Luckily missed me at the time, and I was just about to get up to, move the Land Rover, find cover, carry on. And then when another rocket came in and exploded to my left, probably only 5 meters away, and the resulting shrapnel lacerated my left arm, caused a major bleed, and started tourniqueting it up and rushed to hospital from then onwards.
Hong Kong's Yu Chu Yi has similarly used sport to overcome adversity. She was diagnosed with bone cancer aged 11. Chemotherapy saved her life, but she had to have her left leg amputated. Chu Yi took up wheelchair fencing as a form of rehabilitation and has gone on to become Hong Kong's most successful athlete in either Paralympic or Olympic competition. She has 9 medals, including 7 golds.
If I didn't have bone cancer, I wouldn't have had my leg removed. I wouldn't have become an athlete, and I wouldn't have won all of my gold medals. So life is full of challenges. The most important thing is you always approach life with a positive attitude.
Although there have been concerns about the lack of funding, the Rio Paralympics will welcome over 4,000 athletes from around 170 countries. The likes of Malawi will make their Paralympic debut, while a team of refugees will attend as they did at the Olympics. Alan Mumini will be targeting Ghana's first Paralympic medal in the C2 paracycling. Age 2, Alan contracted polio, which rendered him unable to walk. He spent the next 8 years crawling to get around before using wooden walking sticks. A bout of severe chickenpox affected his debut performance at the Paralympics in London, but he's determined to make his mark in Rio to inspire his countrymen.
I do not see myself that I'm doing something extraordinary, but I just take my little light and shine it in darkness. So I want people to understand that persons with disabilities are not social parasites. Even if I don't benefit something from what I'm doing today, tomorrow others will benefit. And it takes one person to make a change in society, not 1,000 people.
Athletes such as Jason Smith and Natalia Partaker have also been catalysts for social change. They've both competed in able-bodied competitions. Dubbed the Usain Bolt of disability sport, Smith, who's visually impaired, clinched the 100 and 200 metres titles at both the 2008 Beijing and 2012 London Paralympics. His personal best in the 100 was just 0.06 seconds off the Rio Olympics entry mark. Poland's Natalia Partaker, however, has competed in the Paralympics and Olympics. She featured in both competitions in Beijing and London. The table tennis star was born without the lower part of her right arm. She competed in the team competition at the Rio Olympics this year and is now targeting her 4th Paralympic gold in the Class 10 category.
When I first started competing against able-bodied players, I got a lot of attention. There hadn't been a situation like this before. Nobody had ever seen a little girl with one hand who could play like this. As time went on, and with me competing at more and more tournaments, the novelty began to wear off. My opponents had to recognise me as a good player first and foremost. They knew that they would be in for a tough game when they faced me.
Canoeing and triathlon will feature for the first time at the Paralympics, but no sport will be as eagerly anticipated as murder ball. Fast, physical and unforgiving, murder ball, or wheelchair rugby as it's also known, obliterates the traditionalist view of disability as quadriplegic athletes go hell for leather in 4-on-4 action on a hard court. Australia won gold in London and they'll be favourites again with the world's #1 player Riley Batt in their side.
It's just the professionalism and the adrenaline I get out of the sport, what I love. If I didn't play sport, I don't know what I'd be doing today. It's created a whole new career for me. I wouldn't have travelled around the world. I probably would have only been overseas once in my life if it wasn't for wheelchair rugby. It makes you strive for something every day. You wake up with goals and motivation, and that's what sport does, and that's what the game of wheelchair rugby does for me.
The Paralympics certainly encapsulate the power of sport and highlight the range of ability in disability. Be sure to tune in.